Yo, welcome back to the Fantasy Fixers Podcast. I'm your host, Winston Wolf. These are the players you're going to regret not drafting during your fantasy drafts. I'm at 63 subs. There will be a giveaway at 100. Small goals here. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Let's go. Round one, run CMC of the Carolina Panthers. I know the injuries are frightening. And if you owned him last year, it's about a 97% chance that you didn't draft him this year. Most experts will say go safe in the first 2 rounds. I'm all in on CMC. He has number 1 overall upside. His injuries aren't related. It's not like he tore ACL 1 year, PCL the next. He had a shoulder injury, ankle injury. I think these are all fluke injuries. CMC is only 25 years old and he played 48 games in his first 3 seasons. He'll be comeback player of the year. Stamp it with my approval. Round 2. Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. He has the highest ceiling of any running back in this round. He could easily outscore DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, Fournette, Javonte Williams. I think Barkley gets close to 1,000 and 1,000 on the ground and through the air. The Giants drafted Evan Neal from Alabama, signed Mark Lewinsky to beef up the 2 guard spots. One of the beat writers reported that Barkley was running in the slot during practice. I think his name probably isn't pronounced the ball, but I'm from the South, so I'm going to call him the ball. But I think he's a good coach, and he'll find different innovative ways to get the ball in his best player's hands. I watched him win a ship at Bama, develop Josh Allen to the QB1. Did you forget how bad Josh Allen was in his first 2 years? It was like trying to train a shark. You know why it's no great white sharks at SeaWorld? It's because Coach DeBall isn't a shark tamer just yet. I believe in Coach. Trust the process. Saquon has a chance to lead the team in catches. Sterling Shepard is coming off an Achilles tear, which is the worst injury to have, or one of them. It's like sewing 2 neck bones together in your leg. I've had it done twice. Kenny Golladay is running around like R2-D2. Kadarius Toney doesn't seem to be healthy, and Wan'Dale Robinson is an absolute burner, but he's an unproven rookie. You're going to regret taking Aaron Jones ahead of Saquon. Round 3, Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I don't touch tight ends this early, but I already feel bad about not doing so. Who else is Lamar going to throw to? Last season, Andrews had 153 targets, 107 grabs, 1,300 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He is easily the best pick of the 3rd round. He'll outscore all of these wide receivers, Mike Evans, Debo, Tyreek. Last year was the first time since 2016 that Travis Kelce didn't finish as a tight end 1. Mark Andrews dethroned him, and it's going to happen again. Lamar has something to prove. I own 0 stock in Lamar. If he sits out because of his contract, he would have fantasy managers send him death threats via his mom's DMs. But Andrews led all tight ends in targets, catches, yards, tied for first with 9 touchdowns amongst tight ends. You're going to regret taking Kelce around earlier. And most people think Kelce would be the tight end 1 because of the vacated 159 targets from Tyreek. But the Ravens have vacated targets with Marquise Brown, which is 146. So what's the difference? Quite a few experts think that Baltimore will return back to the running team. And I will believe this is J.K. Dobbins was healthy, but his week 1 status is in question. Gus Edwards on the pup list. Mike Davis is 47 years old plus tax. Now, I don't see the Ravens leaning on Mike Davis to win games. Mark Andrews will have the wide receiver 1 numbers, and you're going to be mad about it. Round 4, DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers. Bars. He's the only player in the history of football that had 1,100 yards and only 4 touchdowns, and he's done that twice. Positive TD ascension has to happen this year. DJ Moore will score 8 touchdowns this year. Most of his misfortunes when it comes to scoring have come from bad QB play. Kyle Allen threw 17 touchdowns in 2019. Teddy Bridgewater, 15 touchdowns in 2020. Darnold was so bad in 2021 that they brought Cam off the couch. Gave him a nice check that he couldn't even live up to because Darnold was so bad. Darnold only threw 9 touchdowns. Cam came in and threw 4. That's 13. I'm no fan of Mayfield, but I do think he plays with a super chip on his shoulder. And the Browns traded him for some Boston baked beans and RC Cola. Mayfield will throw at least 25 touchdowns. DJ Moore will catch 8 of those. Round 5, A.J. Dillon of the Green Bay Packers. If Saquon is the quad father, A.J. Dillon is Quadzilla. Now, I don't be meaning to stare at another man's quads, but he was designed in a lab to run over deep freezers for a living. I think he's a must-have running back this year. He's a 3-down back that just so happens to have a 3-down back ahead of him in the depth chart, which is Aaron Jones. He caught 34 of 37 targets for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns last year. He's a power back that has soft hands. And I'm not wishing this at all, but if Aaron Jones has any type of injury, then A.J. Dillon is a top 5 running back. Matt LaFleur came out this summer, said A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, they're 1A and 1A. What more do you need to hear? Dillon outcarried Jones last year, so why wouldn't that number go up this year? And their left tackle, David Bakhtiari, could play week 1. Round 6, watch your step, watch your step. All aboard the Jalen Hurts bandwagon. Now, I'm not the president of this movement, but I do have a members-only jacket. Granted, this does feel better in 4 points per passing touchdown leagues because it gives running QBs the edge in this type of setting. Hurts ranks 10th in that format last season. But I think he had a solid year, one to build on, and they brought over A.J. Brown, who they said looks like the best player throughout the entire camp. Looked great in preseason. I think A.J. will play with a chip on his shoulder, too, when the Titans practically gave him away for an iPhone 3 outer box. Hurts led all QBs in carries, rushing yards, scoring, rushing touchdowns. He's ranked 4th in average depth of target, trailing only Russell Wilson, Lamar, and Justin Fields, so he's not afraid to launch it. And his schedule is about as juicy as Meg Thee Stallion. Philly has the 3rd easiest schedule in football. Sign me up twice. Round 7, Brandin Cooks. You literally have to say his name like that. Brandin Cooks of the Houston Texans. I get it. He's boring. Very little upside with Davis Mills. But he has 1,000 yards every year. He's only had 2 seasons out of 8 where he didn't hit 1K. He landed 90 grabs last year, and he doesn't have much competition other than Nico Collins. As expected, it's going to be an ugly season for the Texans. But Brandin Cooks was wide receiver 21 and half PPR, 15 in PPR, wide receiver 15 in PPR last season. You're going to have no enthusiasm to start him, but he's a great wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, flex play, who can almost guarantee you 12 points in PPR. Round 8, Ramondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots. I know it always feels about as gross as touching a wet doorknob to draft a patch running back. You just don't know who to trust. But I swear, Belichick is talking about this guy every other day. Bill didn't talk about this much about Brady. Ramondre looks good in pass protection. Ramondre looks good in running routes. Ramondre looks good in a towel. Calm down, Bill. But if he gets the 3rd down work with Ty Montgomery being injured, he's going to destroy his ADP. He was PFF's 3rd highest graded running back, ranked 4th in juke rate, so he has a little wiggle too. He's going to get busy, and I'm here for it. Round 9, all the starting running backs are off the board at this time. And guess what backup running back is staring you down to be a sure top 24 running back? Kareem the Dream Hunt of the Cleveland Browns. Between him, A.J. Dillon, and Tony Pollard, these are the best running back backups in football. And we've seen Kareem go berserk when being the RB1 of his team. Hunt finished last season 21st in PPR points per game. Now there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the Browns. You have to trust Jacoby Brissett, and that's one scary thought. But this is your flex or RB3, RB4. So you won't have a better option as a late round running back in your draft. Round 10, Christian Kirk of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Follow the money. And this is easily the best value of this round. The Jags gave Captain Kirk a staggering $72 million. Kirk didn't eat until DeAndre Hopkins was injured last season. While Hopkins wasn't in the lineup, Kirk commanded a 21-point target share by averaging 13.8 points per game over that span. And he was the wide receiver 17. You can't find a wide receiver 1 of any team this late in the draft. Not with this kind of upside. I trust Doug Peterson to move the offense. He likes to pass the ball a lot. During his 5-year tenure at Philly, they were right outside the top 10 in pass attempts. So Lawrence is he's gonna launch this thing. They should be looking at negative game scripts. You're going to wish you grabbed Kirk as your wide receiver 5 with wide receiver 2 potential. These are the top 10 players from each round that you're going to regret not drafting. Merry football Christmas Eve. We got one more day, and I'm out.